what the fuck?
Petscop all started when Paul found the game somewhere, possibly in his room, and started recording himself playing it to show to his friend to prove he wasn't lying about how weird it was. Throughout his exploration of the game, we see Paul solving puzzles while talking to his friend, trying to make sense of it all and progressing further in the game. We eventually see him come to this point in the game in Petscop 10. I believe that this point is actually incredibly important to the plot outside of the game Petscop, as in the conditions under which Paul was playing the game. Before that though, let's discuss Paul's friend. Paul's friend is never heard speaking. We know they exist because Paul references them in the videos as well as being referenced by the channel proprietors in the video descriptions.
But also, when you come home next month, and hopefully you're feeling a little more enthusiastic about that now, we can investigate this together.
We can assume that Paul's friend gives him tips and suggestions on how to complete the puzzles, as we sometimes hear Paul being cut off mid-sentence, as well as Paul referring to his friend as a puzzle genius in Petscop 22.
Well, there you go. Okay, well, I guess I'm kind of an idiot. I wouldn't have tried that. Trying to navigate here. Yeah, I need your puzzle genius. No, you're a genius.
But in some of the earlier videos, we see that Paul barely talks to anyone in particular, specifically in Petscop 8 and 9.
Okay.
This implies that his friend isn't there, but why? Let's talk about the family. The family is a term used to describe an ambiguous group of people who seem to be investigating Petscop. Through context clues, we can assume that the family is also a literal family lineage as well. We hear Paul talk about the family and reference the person Jill during the conversation in Petscop 22.
Hey, have they called you? They haven't called you, right? I mean, Jill specifically. She hasn't called you.
We also see Marvin loosely referenced as family in Petscop 20 through this sign in the casket room. And not to dive too deep into this, as I want to keep this video more contained to one topic, if Raina is the one who made these signs, then he is part of the family too. This would make sense, as we discovered in Petscop 19 that Raina's actual name is probably Daniel, being that if Raina made the game, then Daniel's game is a giveaway for his actual name. This all makes sense in Petscop 17, where we see, in a spell cast on Care, that all these people, Marvin, Jill and Daniel, in relation to Care at least, are connected in terms of lineage, making them part of one family. But how do we know they're investigating Petscop, and to what degree are they invested into Paul's attempts to solve this puzzle? Well, the Petscop descriptions indicate that they really want Paul to keep playing the game, as well as in Petscop 22, where Paul states that they only know as much as he does at that moment.
No, they don't know much more than we do now. They didn't. I don't like talking to them. They intimidate me.
Earlier in Petscop 22, he also describes he's going to sit on the new information that he's found, and not show the family until he can investigate it himself, suggesting that the family needs him to find things.
No, I'm gonna sit on it until then. I'm not showing the family until I've seen it myself. This is why I'm not telling the family, because it's exciting.
The whole family dynamic feels ominous. The demand for Paul to keep investigating at their strong suggestion, Paul's issues with the arrangement, their insistence to censor some game footage of certain objects, most of which would cause someone to become part of the family if viewed, trying to find where Care was, trying to find Graves, trying to rebirth Tiara. With this sort of dynamic, I doubt Paul trusted the family at all. So what makes Petscop 22, the first half at least, so revealing in terms of Paul's situation? First, look at the context in which the video is being replayed. It's a recording that is being replayed through the back-end developer tool. This is because Paul states that he himself had stopped his own personal recording, so he didn't have to show the family what he had found.
I don't know, I'm not recording. I stopped it.
However, it seems that at the time, Paul didn't know about the recordings within the game Petscop, and so didn't expect them to be found via the developer tool. Because we know recordings are replayed when the main screen is left to idle, it's possible to cobble together and sync up lost video footage to the original voice audio, as we see Paul doing in Petscop 13.
This room and the house are counterparts, because they both have this bucket.
But that leaves us with a huge problem. Where did the person who uploaded this video get the audio of Paul talking if Paul himself had stopped his recording? This video should be impossible, unless someone else was also recording Paul.
What?
Listen to Paul's voice in this clip.
This is why I'm not telling the family, because it's exciting.
Now listen to all of these clips.
So, actually, I should show you the pause menu. And, hopefully you're feeling a little more enthusiastic about that now. We can investigate this together. Looks like we finally made some progress. That is, in a way, similar to the idea that brought me to this house. But it's unlikely, but it's still worth a try, and
Notice how in all the other clips, Paul's voice is much clearer and has no reverb, like he's talking directly into a microphone. However, in Petscop 22, it's more muffled, and sounds like it was recorded not in front of his face like the others, but from a microphone placed somewhere else in a room.
Compare it to the size of the windmill in the game. Looks like a gift box, and stars, and something else.
It seems like the family didn't trust Paul either. Look at the upload dates as well, from Petscop 10, when this was recorded, to Petscop 11. 7 months pass with no word from Paul until the Christmas upload. Then the description changes, stating that Paul was no longer in control of the channel, and was now recording himself at their strong suggestion. If I was to take a guess at what happened, I'd say Paul crossed the wrong people. And if I were to make a timeline up to Petscop 11 of Paul's situation, it would be this. From Petscop 1 to 6, Paul records himself for his friend, as we hear him talking to them constantly throughout. Either with them if they were presently watching, or to them if they were to watch the video later when it was uploaded. It seems Petscop 7 involves the first interference by the family and Paul's first contact with them. Assumedly, they contacted Paul after they found the channel and saw that he was playing Petscop. They asked him to censor a certain item in the video, as well as describing other things he should censor, as described in the end video slate. Petscop 8 and 9 are recorded entirely for scrutiny by the family. If Paul's relative silence in these two videos in regards to talking to his friend, and if the fact that he shut down his recording at the end of Petscop 10 to talk to his friend mean anything, it may be that Paul was discouraged or disallowed to play or discuss the game with his friend anymore. Then, in Petscop 10, Paul goes rogue, hides information from the family, and contacts his friend. However, the family knows of his deception, possibly by bugging his room as I described. This is where Paul goes missing from the internet for 7 months until the Christmas episode, where he is now coerced or forced to play Petscop. However, it seems that he's once again allowed to talk to his friend, as we hear him talking to someone in Petscop 11, 13 and 14, assuming he had ever been discouraged from talking to his friend. As for Paul's situation after this, I'm going to need a little bit more time.